Hello everyone. Today we're heading to our first British Heritage Railway, this being the Mid-Hants Railway, aka the Watercress Line.
I do apologise, but the 11:45 service is heavily delayed at the moment due to a total signal failure at the Alton end of the line. I do apologise for this, but it's circumstances that are completely beyond our control now.
After getting that information, we headed down to the other end of the platform to see the 08 they had sitting there.
I'm full of surprises, they ought to say of me. I bring some razzle-dazzle to the yard.
After a bit of waiting, the train finally arrived in the station. Once the engine was disconnected, they ran around the train to prepare for the trip up the line. With the whistle from the guard and the whistle from the engine, we knew it was time for the train to depart. Guys, I've officially been to Ropley Station, hooray. Now I'm no longer at Ropley Station. Once we reached Ropley Station, we met the other train running that day, with Merchant Navy class Canadian Pacific in the lead.
Nope, wrong Canadian Pacific.
Once Canpack was out of the way, our train was cleared down the rest of the line.
And here we have Dave.
Railway lad, that just looks like Thomas.
No, that's not Thomas, that's Dave.
If you say so. The reason we decided to stand at this end of the train is because we knew that on the way back, we would have an amazing view of the locomotive as it tackles the hill up to Ropley. I'll stop commentating for a bit and let the IVATT 2MT do the talking. Hey, this guy started a fire. At the top of the hill, the driver let off steam to allow us to come to a stop at a red signal. CanPAC was still heading up the line towards us, and since it's a single track line, we had to wait for CanPAC to get to a siding. Once they were in their siding, we head off to pass them. Once we passed the deadline, we knew it wouldn't be long until the train pulled into Ropley Station. Once at Ropley, the train continued without us. After looking around the yard a little bit and getting more pictures of Dave, we headed back to the station to watch the 2MT pull in. As we were heading back to the station to get ready to board CAMPAC, we saw one of the diesels come out of the deadline and pull into the yard. I still to this day have no idea what the heck they were doing, but it was nice to see a moving diesel for once. Once CAMPAC pulled in, we boarded the train and head back to Arlesford. Deciding to try a new angle, we headed up onto the bridge that leads to the now unused Platform 2.
Ready? You ready? Here it comes!
Once Canpack was on the other end of her train, we headed to this very nice bridge shot to see her on her way to Alton. Located only a 10-minute walk from that is the only grade crossing on the entire watercress line. We were able to find this rural farm crossing and get a nice shot of the IVATT 2MT on its way into the station.